don't talk about her much anymore. Not because it don't hurt, because it still does. People think hard men don't feel things. That's the biggest lie the world ever sold us. We feel everything. We just learned real early that nobody really wants to hear it. So we pour it in the glass or we pour it in the tank and we drive. We drive until the road gets longer than the memory. And sometimes it takes a while. She lived on. Yeah. She lived on until they took the dog, took the picture frames, left the electricity bill and the echoes of her name. I stood in that kitchen like a man who forgot how to breathe. For walls that used to feel like home, now just a place to grieve. I poured the first one standing up, poured the second sitting down. By the third one I was on the floor in a town that don't care about the sound of a grown man coming apart in the dark like frayed thread. All the things I should have said still rattling around in my head. But I got up, yeah, I always get up. It's the curse of being built this way. You don't get the luxury of staying broken when there's bills to pay. So I drove to work in the rain with sunglasses on. Nobody knew that the man they saw wasn't really the man that was gone. I'm hauling something heavier than lumber in this cab. This 808 in my chest hitting harder than anything I've had. Beat after beat after beat after beat, won't quit, heartache, bass boosted till I can't feel anything but it. Hey, 808 and heartache rolling down the county line. Down the county line. Got a half a bottle left and half a soul that's still mine. That's still mine. You can't fix what she took, can't replace what time costs. But I'm still driving forward, even everything I lost. 808 and heartache, bass hitting, tears drying. Ain't too proud to admit that a real man still trying. Whiskey in my system, road lines blurring by, outlaw to the core. But I still look at the sky. Yeah, I see her sometimes at the gas station off exit 4. Looking good, looking happy, looking like she was never mine before. I nod my head, I keep walking, I pay for my fuel and I go. Because the version of me that falls apart, I don't let them show. I got a buddy named Ray who lost his wife a different way. 6 feet under on a cold February day. He told me, brother, release yours, are still breathing somewhere out there. Put things in perspective real fast when someone hands you that prayer. So I count what I got my truck, got my dog back. Eventually got 3 good friends who answer when I call at the 2 a.m. Genuinely got my daddy's old shotgun on the rack. Got his work ethic in my spine. Got a reason to get up tomorrow, even if it ain't sunshine. The road don't. You want to talk about pulling yourself up by your bootstraps? Fine, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the fact that some folks don't even start with boots. They start barefoot in November on gravel, and they still move forward. Not because some system helped them, not because somebody cut them a break, but because the alternative was dying quiet, and that was never an option. Blood and bootstraps, that's all we had. We made it enough, now step back. I ain't never had a safety net or back, I'm playing a cushion. Every step I took was forward, no more discussion. You think I don't know hard, man? You don't know my morning 4 a.m. alarm. Frost on the window, no warming up, period. Straight into the cold and the work, sore hands, sore back. Still in the dirt, still building, still grinding, still refusing to quit. Because quit wasn't the word they taught us, that's it. My blood is in the concrete of everything I built. My sweat stained the floorboards, I carry no guilt. About being aggressive, about taking up space, about stepping to the front and looking fortune in the face. You want bootstraps? Here, I'll show you the scars from the straps, cutting my hands under cold morning stars. I pulled anyway, hands bleeding, still still standing. Come at me with your soft words, I ain't understanding. Blood and bootstraps, that's the only inheritance. No silver spoon, just pure belligerence. Every no they do became a yes in my hand. Blood and bootstraps, I built it on hard lanes. You don't know what it takes, man, you don't understand. Blood and bootstraps, I built it, I stand. Blood and bootstraps, I stand. Let me break it down for anybody still confused about what it means to come from places where you used as a statistic, as a footnote, as a cautionary tale. Well, here I am, footnote standing, and I will not fail. Not after everything that's already cost. Not after counting everything I already lost. Mama's overtime, daddy's broken spine, brothers missed childhood, every sacrifice on the line. So when you see the word ethic and you wonder where it's from, it's from cold November mornings with bare feet that were numb. It's from watching people I love give everything they had, so I could have a fighting chance, the good and the bad. I took the fighting chance and I fall like my life depended on it, cause it did. Through the strife, through the blood, through the losses, through the sleepless nights, I built something worth having with my bootstraps pulled tight. Blood and bootstraps, that's the only inheritance. No silver spoon, just pure belligerence. Every no they doobie 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 doobie. There's a line. Every county's got one. Some folks cross it to go to work. Some folks cross it to go to church. Some folks cross it running from something they can't name and can't shake and can't leave alone. I've been all three. I burned that line so many times. I'm surprised it ain't ash by now, but lines keep coming back, and so do I. Let me tell you about fire. Yeah. Whoa, let me tell you about fire. Whoa. Yeah. Born on the wrong side of the county surveyor's map. Grew up with nothing but a name in the scrap. A lane that flooded every spring without apology. No FEMA check, no news crew, just family and honesty. Watch that water rise up past the porch boards. Push what we could say, pray to the Lord, and we dried it out and built the damn thing back again. Dirt don't defeat you, it just that's how bad you wanna win. Now I'm burning down the county line, taking everything they said I'd never find. They drew borders around what I could be. I set fire to every single boundary, every wall they built to keep me small. Every fence they ran, I watched it fall. Boy from the bottom with the nerve to stand tall. Burning down the county line, burning down it all. Burning down the county line, ain't asking for permission, this road is mine. Every chain they tried to wrap around my name, I walk straight through the middle of that flame. Burning down the county line, you built your walls, I burned the whole design. Bottom to the top, I took every side. Burning down the county line. They gerrymandered opportunities, drew them away from us. Kept the good schools on the other side of every bus. Route that didn't run past dark out on our road, so I carried my own weight, my own damn load. Got my education from hard knocks and night shifts, from watching smart men work till their bodies drift into early graves with bronze flags and no pension. It's the fire that I carry, that's my intention. Every time I cross that line, now I cross it different. Not running from them, running that, I'm running insistent. I'm the nightmare of everyone who wrote us off early. I'm the proof that your predictions were wrong purely. So take your survey, take your district, take your soul. I built my world from scratch on a slab of stone. And when it gets too heavy, I remember the porch, the flood water rising, and I carry the torch. Burning down the county line, ain't asking for permission, this road is mine. Every chain they tried to wrap around my name, I walk straight through the middle of that flame. Burning down the county line, you built your walls, I burned the whole design. Bottom to the top, I took care. always got something to say. Sitting up in their clean houses on their clean couches, talking about how I ain't doing it right, how I drink too much, how I work too hard for too little, how I drive a truck that's got more rust than paint. Let me tell you something. This road I'm on ain't got a single damn lane for your opinion, so save it. I got a half a tank, a half a bottle, and about 200 miles before I gotta face tomorrow. And that is enough. That is exactly enough. Yeah. Boot on the gas, gravel spraying behind me. Left the town in the dust for they could remind me of every single way I fell short of their picture. Fuck the frame, I don't fit, never asked for the fixture. Working double shifts on a body that's breaking. 3 black coffees and a prayer in the making. My hands bleed the kind of proof he can't fake on a resume. My whole life been a test and I'm passing it to heavyweight. They said settle down, boy, find yourself a steady road. I said this dirt track is my road and I carry my own load. Mud on my boots from the field at 5 in the morning. Ain't no silver spoon here, just a storm and it's warning. I've been the punchline of stories I wasn't even in. I've been the cautionary tale they pass around the discipline. But every scar on these knuckles got a reason and a date. And I'm still here, engine running, still crashing through the gate. Dirt road sermon, nobody preaching but me. Whiskey in the wound, still running wild and free. You don't know my name, you don't know what it costs. I found myself out here where the signal gets lost. Dirt road sermon, say it loud, say it clear. Ain't asking for permission, ain't living in your fear. Whiskey trucks, hard times, that's the holy trinity. You want the truth, come find me on the county line with me. I got 4 people in this world I actually trust, and I burn everything else before I let them rust. Y'all stay loud on the outside, but quiet when it matters. Fair weather friends, soon as winter hits, they scatter. I remember when my truck broke down on Route 9. Not one of those talkers showed up, just me and the pine. Fixed in myself with a wire and a prayer and a curse. That's the kind of man I am, I've been through worse. They talk about my drinking like they know what I'm drinking for. Like they sat beside my father's bed or watched us lose the store. Like they know what kind of silence settles in at 3 a.m. when you done everything right and life broke you down again. But I wake up, I put my boots on, I go back out. That's the only sermon that matters, that's what faith's about. Not some pipe spew, not some practiced hallelujah cry. Just a man in his road. You know what? People always want to know where you come from. Like your zip code explains everything about you. Like the county road you grew up on is some kind of confession. Well, alright then, I'll confess. I come from a place where the church let out at noon and the liquor store opened at 12:01. Where your daddy worked till his hands bled and your mama prayed till her knees gave out. And somehow that was just called Tuesday. So yeah, you wanna hear my testimony? Here it is. Yeah. I was raised on a gravel road 2 miles past pavement, with a good Lord's prison, but the government's vacant. Daddy fixed engines, mama stretched every dollar. Poverty wouldn't shame, it was just a damn collar. Pull it off anyway, stitched it back together. Kept moving forward through every kind of weather. Couldn't buy new boots, so I wore them till they split. Walked through mud and glass, nah, I ain't done with it. Got a scar on my right hand from a barbed wire fence. Got a chip on my shoulder that don't cost 50 cents. Free of charge, came with the territory. Come on, sit down, let me finish up the story. They said, boy, you ain't never gonna leave this town. Said, boy, that weight gon' keep you pinned down. But I flipped that weight, put it on my back. Used every scar as a railroad track. This is my dirt road testimony. Blood on the asphalt, ain't got a damn thing me every callous, every scar, every broken morning. Oh, this is my dirt road testimony. Hear me now, I ain't asking for your warning. This is my testimony, my testimony, my testimony. Seen men break down in the pickup truck driveways, crying quiet so the kids don't see on Fridays. Seen women know their families on their shoulders, getting stronger while the world just keeps getting colder. That's the testimony nobody posts online. No filter on that pain, no caption, no shine. Just a family eating beans on a Thursday, telling each other it'll be better come one day. And it got better slow as hell, but it happened. Every setback just kept us from being complacent. I don't forget where I'm from, and I never will. You can take the boy from the holler, but the holler's in him still. So when you see me pull up, it's something that runs. Remember where I started, gravel, mud, and guns. Remember what it cost every sleepless night, every door that wouldn't open till I broke the light. This is my dirt road testimony. Blood on the asphalt, ain't got a damn thing phony. Every callous, every scar, every broken morning. This is my dirt road testimony. Hear me now, I ain't asking for your warning. This is my testimony, my testimony, my testimony. Everybody's got 1,000 friends on the screen, 1,000 people watching everything they do, 1,000 opinions on how you're living your life. I got five real ones, and I will go to war for every single one of them before I lift a finger for any of those thousands. You learn real fast in this life, it ain't about the crowd, it's about who shows up when the crowd goes home. Count those people, count them on one hand. If you need more than one hand, look again, because half those people don't deserve a finger. Crew, 5 real ones, and I know every single one came true. Tested every one of them before I let them close. Not a test with words, a test with who shows up when I need them most. Ray showed up at 3 a.m. with a truck and no questions asked. Helped me move my whole life in one night. When she lived, never harassed. My burden, my shift. When my daddy had a second stroke, clocked in with my name on the card, that ain't a joke. Sister, yeah, she counts. Held my hand outside the ICU. Told me it was gonna be okay, and somehow I knew it was true. Tommy lent me rent money and told me pay me when you can. Never mentioned it again until I brought it up like a man. And the 5th one, that's the dog. Don't laugh, I'm dead serious. She's been there through every low without getting delirious. 5 real ones is a fortune in a world full of noise. I'll take my 5 over your thousands of boys. 5 real ones, that's all you need in this life. 5 real ones, gonna pull you through the strife. Not 1,000 faces, not a room full of names. 5 real ones, know you before the fame. 5 real ones, ride or die from day one. 5 real ones, left standing when it's done. Drop the crowd, keep the circle, keep it tight. 5 real ones, this is how an outlaw survives the night. I I watch people collect followers like they collecting debts, living for the likes and dying from the stress. Meanwhile, I'm in Ray's backyard with a fire and a beer, and nothing that we're saying is for anyone else's ear. That's freedom, that's actual freedom, not the bumper sticker kind where you can say any broken thing that's in your mind, and nobody's recording and nobody's judging the tape. They're just there because they wanna be, ain't nothing to stake. I've been in Rome full of people feeling completely alone. I've been in a truck with just Tommy feeling completely at home. That's the difference between quantity and the real thing. One of those leaves you empty, the other makes your whole chest sing. So I protect my fire like a man protects his lane. Anybody tried to come between us, they My granddaddy used to say, there's two kinds of churches in this world. The kind with a steeple and a collection plate, and the kind with a highway and a full tank. He said both of them had something from you, but only one of them gives you back the sky. I've been both kinds of broke, spiritually and literally. And I'll tell you right now, the road always brought me back before the pew did. No disrespect to the faithful, but my gospel runs on gasoline, and I believe in it with everything I got. I got baptized in a rainstorm on I-40 going west. Semi-trucks on either side, mud flaps, no rest. Wipers barely working, tires humming hymns, windshield full of Providence out past the county's rims. I've been lost in ways that maps can't navigate you through. Not the kind of lost with coordinates, the kind that hollows you. But somewhere between Memphis and the New Mexico line, something settled in my chest like it was finally divine. My daddy drove these same roads when he had nothing left. Pulled over in Amarillo, cried until he caught his breath, and started the engine again because that's all there was to do. That's the gasoline gospel, and it's all I ever knew. You pray with your engine, you repent with your miles. You confess in the silence that stretches between small towns for miles and miles. I don't need a building to tell me that I'm more than my worst day. The highway's always open, that's enough of a doorway. Gasoline gospel, preaching from the driver's seat. Every mile a song, every engine, every heartbeat. I found my religion out where the signal dies, guiding me in two lanes underneath open skies. Gasoline gospel, ain't no collection plate here, just a tank of faith and a road that ain't got fear. Whiskey for communion, the asphalt for my pew. This is how outlaws pray, this is all I knew. I carried my brother's ashes in a coffee can in the back. Took him up to the mountain pass we talked about on the map. One of those conversations where you say, yeah, we'll do it sometime. Sometime came and went and left me holding the climb. I scattered in the sunrise with a whiskey pour to the ground. Told him everything I never said while he was still around. That's the kind of prayer that don't fit inside a sermon, the kind that comes out broken and certain. This road taught me that nothing lasts the way you want it to, but the act of moving forward, that's the only thing that's true. Every mile behind me is a mile I didn't quit. Every tank I filled on empty is a testament to it. I passed 3 accidents today, all strangers, all real. And I thought about how thin the line is between the R Last call. That's what they holler when the night's nearly done. Every bar I ever sat in, every roadhouse, every dive, with sticky floors and a jukebox that skipped on track. 3 of every Waylon record ever pressed. Last call meant make your decision. You going home or you staying? Life's the same way. Every chapter ends with last call. And you gotta decide what you're taking with you, what you're leaving on the bar. This album, this whole ride, it's been everything I carried. Whiskey trucks, hard times, the people who stayed, the people who left, the scars that healed, the ones that didn't. I'm at the end of the road now. Last call, here's what I'm taking with me. Last call, here's what I'm taking with me. I drove 10,000 miles of 2-lane roads to get here. Lost my navigation twice, but never lost the gear. Shift mentality, forward, even blind, even broke, even when the tailpipe was hanging off and the engine smoked. I remember cold coffee in a styrofoam cup at dawn. I remember not knowing if the next tank would come along, but it always did, barely, but it did. And I learned it barely is enough to make a bid for something better, something lasting, something real. More than the hand you dealt, more than what you feel in the dark, when dark is all it seems to be. This road made me harder, but it set me free. And at the end of every road, there's somewhere to arrive. And all I wanted since day one was to be alive. Not surviving, living, breathing, meaning something to the people who stayed close when I had nothing. Last call at the end of the road, I made it here carrying my whole damn load. Every truck, every bottle, every heart-earned scar. Last call, and I know exactly who I are. I'm the dirt road, I'm the struggle, I'm the grace. I'm the man who looked hard times dead in the face. Last call, end of the road, oh, I'm home. I'm home. I'm home. To everybody who rode along through every track, every mile, every word, I ain't looking back. With regret I'm looking back with clear eyes, seeing all the things that made me recognize. My own strength wasn't inherited, wasn't given free. It was forging every hard thing that came from me and tried to put me under, tried to drown the fire. Instead it burned higher, burned entire paths that would have settled for less into the ground. I chose the harder road, I chose the harder sound. To my family, the one still standing after all of it, you were the reason I kept going through the difficult. To my enemies, thank you genuinely for the fuel. Every doubt you handed me became a tool I built with it, built high enough to see the view from up here. From up here. You've been talking about me. I know you've been talking about me. And here's the thing about that, I don't lose sleep. I don't lose a single hour of sleep, because you got a soft life and a loud mouth, and I got a hard life and a track record. And when it all shakes out, track record beats loud mouth every single time. So go ahead, put mud on my name. See if the mud sticks to a man who was born in it. They drag my name through the feed store and the church lot too. housewife got opinions on things she got no clue. I'm working 60 hours while she workshopping my sins. Maybe worry about your own house before you look in. Yeah. I ain't perfect, never claimed it. Got the receipt for every scar, but every wound I carry came from getting too far. Too far from safe, too far from comfort, too deep in the fire. While y'all were talking, I was out there in the actual night. I built my name with 2 hands in the busted up back. Every lie you spread about me, I earned double back. In fact, come down off your porch and look me in my eye and say it. I bet the words dissolve before you even try to weigh it. Mud on my boots, mud on my truck, mud on my hands, but the mud on my name, that's yours and that ain't where it stands. I'm the wrong man to make it caution every story about, because I keep showing up and you keep running out. You put mud on my name, but I'm still standing tall. Every rumor that you spread just built a high wall. I know who I am when the lights go out at night. Outlaw by nature, but I know wrong from right. Mud on my name, mud on my boots, mud on my robe, but I carry every pound of it, that's how strong I'm sure. Come talk to my face if you got something to prove, or stay on your porch while I'm out here making moves. I heard what Jimmy told the foreman down at the mill. Said I can't be trusted, said I probably never will. Jimmy borrowed $40 from me in '09 and never came back. So let's talk about trust, Jimmy, while I'm laying out these facts. I kept my mouth shut for 15 years on things I know about people in this town and how the private gardens grow. I could light this whole county up with what I got, but I ain't built that way. Secrets stay in the light, because I was raised by a woman who said, boy, what you know ain't always what you say, sometimes you let it go. So I let it go, I let it go, I let all of it go, until you put my name in your story. Now the whole county's gon' know that I stood up a mine when the pressure got real, that I bled for this land and I still made every deal. You want a villain, go look in your own reflection first. I'm the hero of my story and I'm My granddaddy used to say, the wound don't define you, what you do after the wound does. He said it with a busted hand, said it with 3 missing teeth, said it at the bank, took the land his daddy broke. I used to think that was just something old man said to make a plain sound noble. Now I'm older, now I got my own, and I think he was right. Stitched up and moving on. Took a hit last January that I didn't see coming. Business went sideways, couldn't stop the bleeding or the running. The cash out the door like water out of cracked toe. Setting the truck at 2 a.m. the parking lot real dull, under them orange sodium lights that make everything ugly. Talking to myself, said boy, you're getting too comfortable. We're comfortable, that's the problem, ain't it? Softened up enough to let the struggle get you pain into a corner, so I busted through the wall. Not pretty, not graceful, just refused to fall. Stitched myself up with bail and wire and wheel. Went back to work Monday, fighting uphill still. And yeah, it hurt, I ain't too proud to say. Some mornings were real dark before I found the day. But every man worth something's had that 2 a.m. parking lot, where you decide what you are and what you are not. Stitched up and moving on, carrying every scar like a bad, not a wrong. Every hit to knock me down, built the ground to stand on. Stitched up and moving on. Yeah, I bled, but I didn't bleed long. Got back up singing a different kind of song. Stitched up, moving on. Lost a friend to whiskey, slowed and all at once. Watched a good man waste himself, and I couldn't do nothing but be there at the end and say the words that need saying. Over a casket in the mud with old him still playing from a cracked speaker in a borrowed picker's bed. I drove home with something heavy sitting in my head. Not guilt exactly, more like unfinished business, with my own bad habits, my own dark witnesses. So I put the bottle down more often than I used to. Kept my hands busy so they couldn't confuse me. And to thinking all the time was rest, it ain't. It's just room for all your demons to acquaint themselves with the furniture, settle and get fat. I opened up the door and told them where to go from there. Stitched the hole they left with working purpose, son. The wound don't win, not when I'm the stitched up and moving on. Carrying every scar like a badge, not a wrong. Every hit that knocked me down, built the ground to stand on. Stitched up and moving on. Yeah, I bled, but I didn't bleed long. Got back up singing a different kind of song. Stitched up, moving on.